Okay, guys, let's kick off the fantasy flyby with the Cover 2 League. Big shakeup in the Cover 2 League this week. Moving into the first place spot is the Florida Man.
Make sure you tell them to watch out for Florida, man.
Getting a decisive win over Jonestown, 166 to 139. Thanks to some really nice numbers from Bo Nix, 33, Puka Nacua, 38, and Bucky Irving. Quick blurb on Bucky Irving. I saw that he was spotted at the Bucks practice wearing a walking boot and on crutches. So I know you'll have more in your injury report on that, Joe. But you should plan accordingly, Florida Man. In second place is yours truly, the Battle Beast, keeping Mac Free Diddy locked up, 191 to 166. I was also this week's top scorer with that 191 point total. Yes, the star of the show, Bijan Robinson, 30 points, and an unexpected 21 from Travis Etienne against the Niners. And this week I took my own advice that I gave everyone on our Show Up, Show Out, Shit Show segment, and I played CJ Stroud as a starting quarterback, and he came through in a big way for me. 24 fantasy points this week for him. Every single player in my starting lineup far exceeded projections, so that accounts for that 191. And third, none other than Patty Mayonnaise. He might hate me for saying this little break here, but Patty Mayonnaise would be a phenomenal drag queen name if you're into that sort of thing. But at any rate, just saying, back to football. Patty took out the Black Chuck Norris with a shellacking 180 to 108. The largest margin of the season so far. Everyone was cooking in Patty Mayonnaise's lineup, especially George Pickens. 35 points for him, 29 for Drake May, 26 for Amon-Ra St. Brown. This was crazy. I'm afraid no combination of players on Black Chuck Norris's squad would have helped him avoid that beatdown this week. So,
happens.
Yeah, it does. In the Air It Out League, I think it's LC's Classic 73 team, who's I always say is very sneaky good. You got to watch out for. In this Cover 2 League, it's Patty Mayonnaise. He's got a very, very deep bench, so got to look for that guy.
Nice.
Also, an honorable mention to No Deshaun Don't Touchdown there. Very nice week, 179.9. And there were some very, very high point totals this week in the league. The competition is really heating up. 191 for me, 180 for Patty Mayonnaise, 179, No Deshaun Don't Touchdown, and 166 for the Florida Man. So now, for those who did not do so well, bringing up the rear and in 10th place, Choose Dumpster Fire. Still, he and Spicy Curry are trading back and forth in that last place position in their race to the bottom, but both teams are still 0-4 without a win this year. On to our older, wiser flagship fantasy league, Air It Out. No major shakeups here, holding steady in first place.
I am inevitable.
Is left hand of Thanos, still undefeated, 4-0, just like his Philadelphia Eagles. And this week he got the dub, 153 to 133 over league veteran that Grizzly. How about 37 points from Matthew Stafford?
Kind of like that.
Yeah, talk about taking a risk for picking up a quarterback. I wasn't sure Matthew Stafford would even be capable of standing up at this point in the season. Yeah, that whole back thing. But he made a liar out of me. His fantasy numbers have not been disappointing at all. Moving into second place, the Road Warriors. He had a huge week. He was the top scorer, 195. He got the win over Zulu Nation. So let me say this. Zulu Nation put up 152, which is a very solid number.
Yeah.
152 is nothing to turn your nose up at. Anytime you can score 150 or better and not get the win, I think it speaks to the level of competition that's happening in the league. Yeah. So back to the Road Warriors, though. He hasn't missed a beat since losing his quarterback, Joe Burrow, and he's got Josh Allen, Drake May, both of them holding him down with 30 and 29 points respectively. What a day again for Puka Nacua, 38 points from him, 27 for Bucky Irving. But that same warning goes to you, Road Warriors, about Bucky in that walking boot situation. In third place, and he beat the snot out of yours truly, the Battle Beast, this week. And that was the Players Club. 185 to 139. The star of the show for him, Jordan Love. 35 fantasy points came out of that 40-40 tie Monday night against the Cowboys. And another bright spot for him, the Detroit defense. 34 points, holding the Browns to just 10. All right, bringing up the rear and in 10th place, still soft hand is Adrian. Now, he is the only team left without a win. He was dominated in his matchup with Florida Fade 189 to 146. 38 points from Pat Mahomes that he got was not nearly enough to get the win this week. But when I look at his team, I know we didn't like his draft very much at all. He was really 49er heavy. He still is. He's got 5 on the roster right now.
They're decimated by injury.
Overall, they were. It's not that bad when you look at it. He made some really good moves to fill a lot of big holes, such as picking up Carson Wentz. He got Jake Tungus. 146, again, not a bad number, but he did have some missteps. So he played Zach Ertz over Pitts this week. Pitts ended up having a good game, right? Romeo Doubs was on his bench, who had a monster game, 29 points.
Throw to somebody, yep.
189 was still a tall order to beat this week, but going forward, Soft Hands Adrian, you got no room for error. You should be able to pull out a win with this team. So we will see what happens. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Fantasy Flyby this week. Stay locked in, see where you land next week.